4 more workers. So Jim, Ava, Daniel, and Poppy, you're now in charge of the dead people. And they will... Good morning, everyone. I'm Dave. Welcome back to the wee hours where I suffer from periodic bouts of insomnia and play games to pass the time. We are back playing some more Atomic Society, a game I am really into, even in its pre-alpha stage, which this is in early development. It's doing a lot of things right, and I think it's a really interesting take on the town builder thing. Last time we got the basics of our settlement set up. Got some food, got some water, got some storage, got our town hall going where we're going to visit momentarily and really get some fun stuff going on. But what we're running into now is a lack of materials. So I wanted to take our town mayor, if you could just come out here, thank you. Bob, I've got a mission for you. If you could go all the way over here to this building, because you're a much faster scavenger than everyone else is. Let's get time moving along a little bit. If you could go over and scavenge some lumber out of there, we could make some really good improvements to the town. So yeah, there's some scavengers. People are doing this. But Bob, our leader, is just way faster at it, and he will get this done long before the rest of them will. So what'd you get? Metal, lumber, masonry. Lumber. Good. Lumber. Lumber is exactly what I was running short on. Tin food. Yay. Fantastic. All right. If you could now go back to town and deposit that, that would be great. Okay, he's got those materials stored in the storage area, and there's a few things that we have to consider. Like any town builder, we kind of need everything all at once, but there are some priorities, and a commenter in the last episode did remind me of something that's kind of super important, which is we need a repair shack going on, because all of these buildings degrade. This one right now is near collapse, actually near collapse, so we need to kind of deal with that right away. Bob, where did you go? Where did our guy go? Yeah, Bob, if you could come over here, because Bob's good at everything, if you could fix that for right now. Yeah, these buildings degrade, and they degrade very, very quickly, in my opinion, I guess, or experience, or my opinionated experience, if you will. And they will collapse, and that can kill people. Bob, as usual, is good at everything, so he can repair them, but that's really a waste of his time. What we want to do is actually get other people to do that. So, repair shack, we need masonry, metal, and lumber. We have all of that good. All right, so let's get that going somewhere. Where's the front of it? There it is. How about if we put that sort of here-ish? Okay, Bob, are you done with that? Could you come over and build this because you're like the world's fastest builder? Yeah, get over there and do that, please. Let's tick time on a little bit. Oh, Bob's gotten stuck. Hang on. We're hitting a little glitch here. Bob, go over and do that. Actually, technically his name is Bobs, but, whichever. Yeah, Bob will just shoot that building right up. Then we can get some people employed in that, and they will go repair things for us, which is good. And then we have some other priorities that we have to think of. So thank you, comments, for reminding me about the repair shack. I probably would have just let that go right over my head, and buildings would have been falling down, and people would be dead. Not that enough people aren't dead already. We've got a real problem with mortality here. So we'll employ some workers. 4 positions filled. So Harriet, Madison, Kenneth, and Raphael are going to work. What's Kenneth's deal? Let's just check in on Kenneth. What is your bio? How they survived the bombs? By doing very questionable things. Okay, Kenneth. So you were a little bit shady. Okay, his favorite color is all of them. His favorite pre-war song is Cheek to Cheek by Fred Astaire. Oh, going in the Wayback Machine there, huh, Kenneth? He fears invasion. He was a traffic warden before the bombs fell. All right, well, Kenneth, you've moved on from traffic warden to repair person. Now, other stuff that we need. We do have repair people, but I'm just going to have Bob take care of the well really quickly because I don't really want our water going down. So, Bob's, if you could get over here and repair this, Bob, if you could actually do the thing that I want you to do. Bob, you're killing me here. You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me. Yes, enter. Yes, thank you. No, don't run the other way. Oh, pre-alpha. Yep. Pre-alpha. Yes, all right, so Bob's working on that. Great. All right, so I really don't want the well going down. Other things that we need are virtually everything. So we should really think about a first aid tent, because I see down in the corner our needs section, the health factor is going down pretty quickly. A latrine would be good too, just for some basic hygiene. But actually, I think two buildings I want to get going right away is the crematory. Crematorium? Crematory. I always thought it was called crematorium. But anyway, the place where you burn the corpses is what we want to get going here, because we are having a real problem with dead bodies lying on the ground and nobody is doing anything with them. So how close can we get it to the repair shack? Again, there's this big invisible wall around the buildings where we talked about it in the last episode, but I'd love to be able to tuck these buildings closer than I can get them. There's a huge invisible square around each building. But whatever. Again, pre-alpha, we'll deal with it. Bob, you want to get over there and help construct that if you're done with the well? Are you going to do that? Are you going to do that, Bob? Okay, you're kind of doing it. All right, I actually don't want you in... Oh, actually, the builders are moving pretty well along with that. It's not a bad group of builders. They're shooting that thing right up. Okay, so the crematorium will get built, and that will help alleviate the disease problem that we have, because as we covered in the last episode, unlike other town builders, the corpses don't go away. They're stuck here, and they will cause disease, and all of these people who are very stupidly just milling around. See, somebody just died right there. What did you die from? What did you die from? Oh, did you just fall asleep? Okay, you're apparently still alive. What did you die from? You died of old age. Okay, so these corpses will stay here, and the people will just mill around in a pile of corpses and get diseased from that, because they're kind of dumb that way. But if we build the crematorium, which is almost done, let me just tick time along a teensy bit faster here, then we can employ people there. 4 more workers. So Jim, Ava, Daniel, and Poppy, you're now in charge of the dead people. And they will now go collect corpses. In fact, let me find one of these employees here. So Jim, let me take a look at you. What are you doing? Your current priorities are getting something to eat, and you have no housing. We're going to touch on that in a second. And you are going to work. Okay, so you're going to work. Hopefully you're going to start picking up some of these corpses. This one died because one of his needs was too low. Probably homelessness. Same again there. Probably homelessness, because food and water are under control. Food and water are basically under control right now, but housing is not. So, do I want to do the? Oh, I'm a little. Okay, I'm going to put this up, and then I'm going to, unless this has strangely been corrected since the last time I played it, I'll show off what I believe to be a little bit of a glitch or a bug. So people will die if they are homeless. So let's just get a basic shack going. That will house 10 people, apparently. It may be a basic shack, but it's a big shack. So that will house 10 people. We'll get that going over here. How close can we? Yeah, okay, invisible wall again. Everybody get on that. And in fact, Bob, why don't you get on that too? Let's get this going pretty quickly. Bob, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, yeah, aim for the building we're trying to build here. No, sorry, I took you off the wrong thing. There you go. Go do that again, please. Except now do this. All right. While I'm here, what did you die of? You died of diarrhea. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You died of old age. That's a much more pleasant way to go. I'm so sorry for you. What did you die of? You died of the plague. That's not surprising, seeing as you all stand around in a pile of corpses. But hopefully with the crematory up, those 4 workers should start hauling the bodies away, which should alleviate the disease factor a little bit. How are we doing with the housing? Okay, ticking along nicely. And while they're doing the housing, I'm having a little think about my next move here. 97, 98, good. Done. Fantastic. So we should have enough housing for 10 people now. This is something I found in my little private test drive of this that I did before I started recording it. We have sufficient housing for 10 citizens, which is 14% of the total. So obviously we don't have enough housing. But here's the thing. Currently using home, 0 out of 10. Nobody wants to live there. And in my, again, sort of private test drive playthrough of this, no matter how many shacks I put up, nobody would actually live in them. So pre-alpha bug, pre-alpha glitch, I can only assume that it is. The other scenario is that I'm doing something stupidly wrong, and I just don't know how to put people in the housing or make them go live in the houses. Either of those options could be correct. And if you're way better at Atomic Society than I am, and I'm going to tell you right now, you probably are, and you're like, oh no, here's what you're doing wrong with the housing, you're not doing this, that'd be great. Go ahead and tell me in the comments. I would appreciate it, because people will... the houses are there. They just don't seem to want to live in them. That is, by the way, the only one I've tried. I've only tried the shack. I haven't tried any of the other ones. Speaking of the other ones, and speaking of building stuff, where are we at on materials now? So if I wanted to build, say, a prison. Okay, we could use some more lumber, but we're pretty good right at the moment. What I'd like to do is... I want prison punishment center or info station. I kind of want all of them, but we're going to start with a prison. We're going to start with the prison, because then we can show off the whole crime and punishment aspect to all of this. And let's put the prison sort of out of town. Let's get it. It doesn't have to be right where people live. So if somebody wanted to go build the prison, that'd be great. In fact, as usual, Bob, if you wanted to go help build the prison, that'd be good. Let me tick time along and get that built. Off you go, Bob. Off you go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, the other builders eventually show up for work. And that brings me to another point. Once this is built, I have to have a think about something. What I don't know is that as people die, will these buildings be automatically re-employed? And I don't know the answer to that. So... the shack, which actually, Bob, why don't you just go and repair that while I'm just actively clicked on it. The shack does have full employment. Obviously, I certainly don't remember if these are the original 4 employees. I would assume that just checking off employ workers means that as these people die, it will just automatically re-employ a fresh worker. That would be my best guess on this. So I'm going to assume that I don't have to keep checking on all of these places to make sure that, people are doing the jobs that they're supposed to be doing. With the prison up, we can employ workers in the prison. So who are our new prison guards? Bob, Elisa, Aaron, and Ella are our new prison guards. Ella Nailher. That's an unfortunate last name, Ella. That's a really unfortunate last name. Wow. So I do know, interestingly enough, that what the developers did is if you purchase early versions of this, pre-alpha versions, there was sort of a thing going on where they would put your name into the game. So many of these people may in fact be real people who contributed and supported Atomic Society. So if Ella Nailher is a real person, either A, that's a wonderful joke name that you contributed, or B, I am so sorry that that is your name, because that's really different. So, all right, prison is up. Now, with the prison up, we can actually start to enact some laws, because we've got the crime part. Now we've got the punishment part. Now we can actually do something about this. So what are our biggest concerns right now? Murder. People are being murdered. There is apparently a murderer in this town. And slavery. Slavery seems to be a big deal. I'm going to backburner the vegetarians right now, because I'm not going to put the vegetarians in prison. Drug users. Okay. Drug users, we'll have a think about that. What do we want to do with them in our society? Let's just deal with the most obvious one, which is murder. So we click on the murder problem, and now we have to deal with it. We have solutions. And like we kind of touched on in the last episode, we've got all these different solutions that we can do. We can execute people, give them long prison sentence. We can encourage them. And we had a chat about that in the last time. And I absolutely love this. I didn't point this out in the last episode, but hopefully you saw it on screen. Coming soon, flogging. Yes. finally a game that is introducing flogging. I'm thrilled. But yes, this is still in development, so apparently down the line we're going to get to publicly flog people. And you know what? I'm 100% okay with that. That's funny and neat and cool. Good job, Atomic Society. I look forward to that. I actively look forward to when that part of the game is released. So let's see what we want to do with murderers. We could execute them. But there's results to that. There's consequences to all of that, which is, yes, that will certainly, as it says here, the sight of a corpse strung up will send a message, significantly decreases how often this issue occurs. So if we start executing murderers, we will reduce the number of murders. That's kind of just math at that point. That's just basic math. But there is a chance that we could be arresting and executing innocent citizens. So we don't want to do that. I don't know what the long-term consequences of that, unlike the result for, this part of it where it says, gives you a statistic basically on what's going to happen. It will decrease the number of times this happens in the future. There's no obvious consequence to executing innocent citizens. I can only assume, first of all, we're going to execute innocent citizens, which means we don't have workers and citizens that we could have otherwise used. But I wonder if that decreases overall happiness or some other problem that it's going to cause. I think right now what we'll do with the murder is do long prison sentence. Now, what are the consequences of that? This will also significantly decrease how often this issue occurs, and the side effect is apparently coming soon. Okay, good. So we've hit a little bit of a development wall there. That's fine. So I don't know what the side effect is of a long prison sentence for murderers, but I think it's a little safer than executing them right now. We may revisit that later, and because we can change this. We can revisit our crime and punishment aspect and say, okay, you know what, we are going to start executing them, or you know what, we're going to start encouraging murder. So yes, I will judge that. Da-dum. Okay, we have solved that problem, or at least, temporarily. And yeah, in 9 minutes, we could check back and we can deal with another issue. So there's a bit of a cool down on crime and punishment in the town hall. So in 9 minutes, we could start to deal with slavery or those pesky vegetarians. But for right now, I wanted to, have they actually arrested anyone yet? That's the first thing that I want to do. Oh, yeah, wow. They've already... No, wait, no, sorry. No. I completely misread that. They have not arrested anyone yet. We'll come back to that when they actually arrest a murderer. For right now, let's see what else we kind of need. And I think we got to look at the health stuff. Let's get we're really running low on lumber. But let's get the first aid tent going. And then after that, I want to think about maybe a latrine of some sort just for basic hygiene. I think it's okay if we give these people a toilet. That's nice. So again, going with my sort of circle idea with the town hall in the center. Oh, I love the organic nature of this. Again, and we talked about it in the last episode, but I love being able to rotate the buildings 360 degrees, and because that really opens up the town and just makes it feel natural and real. And I do like the way this is kind of shaping up with this circle and the town hall in the center. Bob's, I'm going to let the builders handle that. And what I would like our town leader to do is actually go scrap this again, please. So yeah, if you could get your butt over there, I'm going to tick time along. Oh, Bob's forgotten to do it. Bob has forgotten to do it. Yeah, we've gotten a little bit glitchy there. Bob forgot what he was doing. That's okay. Bob has a lot on his mind. He's figuring out what to do with murderers. He's putting up a first aid tent. Bob's a busy guy. Okay, now Bob's figured it out. Excellent. Bob's has remembered to go and do the thing that I asked him to do. Because we're going to start to run low on materials again. So let's get some more materials going. It's nice to see these scavengers going back and forth. And actually, while we're doing that, here's a question that I have that I don't know the answer to. So again, if you're way better at Atomic Society than I am, please let me know. We have... Let me just have him finish doing what he's doing here. Okay. And then I'm going to slow time down a little bit while we talk about this. We just zip back here and have him deposit the stuff. And then we'll have a little chat. Yes, deposit that, please. Great. So obviously, if we zoom way out, we're in a tundra here. There's not a lot going on. The way we seem to be getting materials is by scavenging these things. Buildings, we've got a little radio tower over here. And, now that I've said there's nothing out here, now I'm seeing tons of buildings. Well, tons is an exaggeration, but there's not a lot going on. We could certainly be scavenging all the... Oh, that looks really cool. Oh, that looks really neat. Can we repurpose that? Oh, we may consider a whole expansion over to this side of the map. And look, more settlers are coming. Look, more settlers are coming. Hi, guys. You're going to do really well. Just please don't stand in the pile of corpses. So my question is there a finite number of materials in the world? Because if we scavenge this dry, to the best of my knowledge, at some point there will just be nothing left in here, and there will be zero materials to gain. Same with any of these. So is there a finite number of materials in the map? I don't know the answer to that question, and I would appreciate knowing the answer to that question. So if you know the answer to that question, please let me know. The first aid hut is done. Let's hire some first aid people. Elizabeth, Toby, and Willow, you are working in the first aid tent, and looks like some new settlers are showing up. Wow, we're getting a lot of people going on here. We're going to have to make decisions about, well, how big this town is going to get, because people are flooding in. And let's call it for there. That's another little look at Atomic Society. I wanted to kind of cover punishment side of this, and we're going to go more into this later because there's all sorts of neat things that we can do, and I really want to explore it. For now, as we watch the really, really stupid settlers stand in the pile of corpses, I think we'll call it for here, and we will do some more Atomic Society next week. Until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we'll see you next time.